Have you ever woken up and felt off? Not sick, exactly. Just tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Maybe your joints feel a little stiffer than they used to. Maybe your energy fades before noon. Or maybe, if you're honest, it's been a while since you felt truly good in your body. If that sounds familiar, please know this: you are not alone. And there's nothing wrong with you. Aging is not a problem to fix, it's a season to honor. But just like any season, it asks us to adapt. It asks us to listen. And most importantly, it gives us quiet invitations every day to care just a little more for this body that's carried us through so much. Now, you may have clicked on this video because of the title, wondering what vegetables to avoid, or what foods can actually help. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But before we talk about what's on your plate, let's take a moment to talk about what your body needs before you ever touch a fork. Because the truth is, what you do before breakfast can often shape your entire day. Let's start with something so simple, so easy, and yet so powerful, it's often overlooked. Water. Are you drinking enough water first thing in the morning? Most people over 60 aren't, but your body needs it badly. After a long night, your cells are dehydrated, your joints are dry, your brain is foggy, and just one glass of water in the morning, just one, can start to turn things around. You don't need fancy supplements. You don't need powders or pills. Just clean, cool water within the first 10 minutes of waking up. Try it tomorrow. Sit on the edge of your bed, take a few deep breaths, and drink slowly. That small act tells your body, I'm listening, I'm here for you. And that brings us to the next morning habit that changes everything. Sunlight. Have you noticed how your energy feels different on a sunny day? That's not just in your head. Morning light, even 5 minutes, helps reset your internal clock. It tells your body it's time to wake up. It improves your sleep at night. It lifts your mood. Even if you're not going for a walk, just open the curtain, sit near a window. Let the light touch your skin and your eyes. These are the signals your body needs, and many seniors are missing them. If you're over 60, you should be doing this every morning. It's that important. The third simple step, gentle movement. No, not an intense workout. Not hours at the gym. I'm talking about 5 minutes of light stretching, shoulder rolls, ankle circles, or walking around the house. Why? Because your circulation needs a little help waking up too. Movement tells your joints, we're not done yet. It reminds your muscles they still have purpose. And when you move with intention, even just a little, you set the tone for the day. You may want to go back and re-listen to that. It's subtle, but it matters. Now let's gently bring in the food conversation. There's a good chance you've been told for years that vegetables are always good for you. And for the most part, that's true. But did you know, some vegetables can actually make inflammation worse as you age? Yes, some so-called healthy vegetables might be the very things making your joints ache, your digestion sluggish, or your energy crash. We'll talk about those in just a minute. But before we dive into what not to eat, I want to make sure you're already building a base with these 3 habits. Drink water the moment you wake up. Let the sunlight touch your face, and move your body gently, even if it's just around the living room. These are the silent foundations of better aging, and they cost nothing. So if nothing else, commit to these this week. Try them for 3 mornings in a row, and see how your body responds. You might be surprised by what a small shift can unlock. And if you're feeling that spark of motivation already, hold on to it. Because now we're going to start peeling back the layers. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there? Maybe you set down your glasses, only to spend the next 20 minutes searching for them. It's frustrating, isn't it? But it's also incredibly common. Cognitive changes with age don't mean you're broken, they mean your brain needs different kinds of support. And luckily, there are things you can do today that don't require a single dollar or doctor's appointment. So now let's talk about something just as important, how to keep your mind strong and clear no matter your age. And if this first part already gave you something useful, would you let me know in the comments? What's one thing you're going to try tomorrow morning? Your story could inspire someone else who's quietly watching right now. And if this reminded you of someone you care about, send it to them. They may need it more than you know. Ready to go deeper? Let's keep going. Your mind deserves this care too. You know that moment when you walk into a room and stand there, staring, wondering, what was I looking for? Or maybe it's forgetting someone's name, or rereading the same paragraph 3 times, it can make you question yourself. Worry a little, feel like something's slipping away. But please hear me when I say this. You are not broken, you are not losing it. Your mind is just asking for a little more attention, not out of fear, but out of love. Because here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is not fixed in place, it's alive, it's always changing. And even now, no matter your age, it's capable of growing, adapting, and staying sharp, if you give it the right care. The good news, that care doesn't come from expensive pills or miracle cures. It comes from simple daily things you can start doing today, with the same power as watering a garden. Let's begin with the most powerful one, mental engagement. Your brain craves stimulation. When it's not challenged, it slows down. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. So what can you do? Start with puzzles. Not the hard ones that frustrate you, but the ones that feel just right. A crossword, a word search, even a few brain teaser apps you can use on your phone. They wake up different parts of your mind, memory, logic, language, and it only takes 10 minutes a day. Next up, reading. Now this might sound too simple to matter, but reading activates your imagination, boosts memory retention, and helps build new connections in your brain. It doesn't have to be a novel. Try articles, short stories, or even reading out loud to someone else. The sound of your own voice can reinforce learning in a powerful way. And don't overlook something equally important: music. Music, especially songs you know from your younger years, has an almost magical ability to light up the brain. It activates memory centers, emotional pathways, and even movement regions all at once. If you haven't already, try this tomorrow. Put on a favorite song from your 20s or 30s, close your eyes and let yourself feel it. You might be amazed what comes back. These aren't just hobbies, they are brain-saving tools. You may want to go back and re-listen to that last part. It might matter more than you think. Now let's talk about something you might not expect: conversation. Talking to others, even for 5 minutes, is one of the most effective ways to protect your cognitive health. Why? Because it forces your brain to listen, interpret, respond, and remember, all in real time. Don't underestimate the power of simply calling a friend, joining a book club, or even chatting with someone in line at the store. Connection keeps your mind alive. And speaking of connection, here's a question for you. When was the last time you shared a memory with someone younger than you? Passing down stories is a beautiful exercise for your brain. It brings up details, emotions, timelines, it forces recall, it helps you feel valued, and it reminds others, especially your family, that you carry wisdom worth remembering. Even if you live alone, consider starting a memory journal. Just write down one story a day. The process of remembering and writing strengthens neural pathways in ways researchers are only just beginning to understand. And if you're thinking, I don't know where to start, just ask yourself this: what's one moment in your life you'll never forget? Start there. So now let's tie this back to something we mentioned earlier: the foods you eat. Did you know that certain vegetables can cloud your brain and increase fatigue? Yes, a few common vegetables, especially ones high in certain compounds, may cause inflammation that affects not only your joints but your mind. We'll name them soon, but first, remember, before you take anything out of your diet, you need to be adding in what helps. And when it comes to brain health, omega-rich vegetables like spinach and cruciferous greens like broccoli and Brussels sprouts can be your friends, if your body tolerates them well. The truth is, food affects not just how you feel physically, but how you think. And we'll explore more of that in part 4 when we talk about daily habits and food rituals that extend your life. But even with a strong mind, there's something deeper, something quieter, that deserves our attention. Because while your thoughts may fade and sharpen, your emotions are the constant background hum of every single day. So now let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about the heart. Have you ever felt a heaviness in your chest that had nothing to do with illness, and everything to do with loneliness? That invisible ache matters more than anyone talks about. And in the next part, we're going to talk about that, gently, but honestly, because even the strongest mind needs a soft heart behind it. And even the healthiest routine can feel hollow without emotional connection. But for now, I want to ask you something. If any of this struck a chord with you, if you've ever experienced that foggy feeling and found a way through it, tell me in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel the same way. And if this reminded you of someone, a parent, a neighbor, a friend, share it with them. These tips are easy, but they matter more than you know. Ready to talk about what we all carry quietly in our hearts? Let's go there together. There's a kind of silence that no one warns you about. It's not the peaceful kind, not the stillness of a quiet morning with a warm cup of tea. It's the kind of silence that settles in after the kids have moved out, after the phone rings less, after the routine becomes a little too predictable. It's the silence of feeling unseen. And if you've ever felt that, even for a moment, I want you to know something. It doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're human. Because aging doesn't just bring physical changes, it brings emotional ones too. The world doesn't always treat older adults the way it should. Sometimes you give and give, but it feels like nobody notices anymore. But here's the quiet truth. Your heart is still full. Your worth hasn't faded, and your story is still unfolding, even if it's written a little slower now. So let's talk about how to take care of that heart. Not just the beating one in your chest, but the emotional one. The one that holds every joy, every hurt, every hope. You've probably spent most of your life taking care of other people. Now it's time to care for you. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to do that is something called a gratitude moment. You don't need a fancy journal or a complicated system. Just this: each evening before bed, whisper to yourself 3 things you're thankful for from the day. It could be as small as the sunlight on your hand, the sound of a grandchild's laugh, the softness of your blanket. This practice rewires your emotional state over time. Gratitude quiets anxiety. It gently lifts sadness. It gives your heart something solid to rest on, even when the world feels uncertain. And if you want to take it one step further, write it down. Just a few words, a sentence, a list. Over time, those pages become reminders, proof that beauty was always there even on the hard days. You may want to go back and hear that again. It sounds simple, but it can shift your entire emotional rhythm. Another healing habit: self-care rituals. Now I know the term self-care gets thrown around a lot, but I'm not talking about candles and spa days, unless that's your thing. I'm talking about personal kindness. When was the last time you made something nice just for you? Maybe a warm bath with music playing, a favorite meal served on your nicest plate, even if you're eating alone, a quiet walk where you truly notice the trees, the sky, the sound of your breath. These aren't luxuries, they are necessities. They tell your heart, I still matter. And yes, let's talk about nature. Have you ever just sat outside and listened to the birds, to the wind through the leaves? That kind of stillness is a medicine of its own. Studies aside, you don't need science to tell you what your soul already knows. Nature heals. It reminds us that change is part of life, and that even in stillness there's growth. So take a moment, open a window, sit under a tree, let your mind settle and your heart soften, because emotional health isn't about avoiding sadness. It's about giving yourself space to feel and then choosing how to move forward. Now here's a question that might be quietly sitting at the back of your mind. Who are you now, if you're not who you used to be? That's a big one, isn't it? Maybe you were once the caretaker, the provider, the fixer, the friend who always had the answer. But now the pace has slowed, the roles have shifted, and it can feel like a piece of you got left behind. But please believe this, your identity doesn't disappear, it deepens. You are becoming something new, not less, not lost, but more refined. Like a tree in winter, stripped down, yes, but still rooted, still alive, still capable of blooming. If this moment is touching something tender in you, take a deep breath. You're not alone, and your emotions are not something to hide from. They're something to honor, because a full life is not a perfect one. It's one where you feel, where you remember, where you connect. And speaking of connection, when was the last time you reached out, even just to say, I was thinking of you? Loneliness fades in the presence of simple gestures. One message, one walk, one hello at the mailbox. So here's something small but powerful you can do this week. Make a list of 3 people who bring you peace and call one, just to talk, not to fix anything, just to be there. If that feels hard, start with me. Write in the comments below. Tell me one thing you've felt lately, one thing that's made you smile, or something that's been heavy on your heart. You'd be surprised how many others are quietly feeling the same. And if this video gave you a little comfort, share it with someone else who might need that same reminder. You still matter. You are still deeply loved. Now, take this in. You've come this far. You've survived heartbreak, disappointment, change in time. That kind of strength, it's not an accident. So let's take that strength and do something with it. Let's shape your daily life with habits that support everything we just talked about. Because now that your body and mind are getting stronger and your heart is remembering its worth, it's time to create a rhythm you can live by, one that supports your peace, your energy, your purpose. So let's build that together next. I'll walk you through it, one gentle, powerful habit at a time. Ready? You've already come so far, tuning into your body, clearing the fog in your mind, and beginning to open your heart again. Now it's time to ask a beautiful question. What does your day feel like, and what do you want it to feel like? Because your life isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built in the quiet ones, the ones where you choose what you eat, when you rest, how you move, and who you let into your space. And here's the truth, many people never hear. The habits you build now, even small ones, have the power to give you more energy, more clarity, and more life than you thought possible at this age. So let's start simple. Begin with your mornings, not just waking up, but waking up with purpose. You don't need a strict schedule or a to-do list, just a ritual. A rhythm that says, this day matters. Try this before you get out of bed. Place your hand over your heart, breathe in deeply 3 times, and ask yourself, what do I need today? That one question sets a tone of self-respect that follows you all day. Then move your body, gently but intentionally. A 5-minute walk after breakfast, a lap around the garden, even just standing at the window and stretching your arms toward the sky. Movement is medicine, especially after meals. Did you know that taking a 10-minute walk after eating can help your digestion, lower blood sugar, and improve sleep? It's one of the simplest ways to care for your entire system. You may want to go back and hear that again. It might add years to your life. Now let's talk about food. We mentioned earlier that some vegetables may not be doing your body any favors. Especially as you get older, certain vegetables that are high in lectins or oxalates, like eggplant, raw tomatoes, or even large amounts of spinach, can contribute to joint pain, digestive issues, or brain fog. Everyone's body is different, but you might consider gently reducing these and seeing how you feel. On the other hand, some vegetables are like gold for your body after 60. Sweet potatoes, rich in fiber and easy on digestion. Cooked carrots, full of beta-carotene and gentle for aging stomachs. And leafy greens like kale or chard, steamed, not raw, which support your heart and brain without the harshness of raw salads. You don't need to overhaul your whole plate overnight. Just begin to notice. How does your body feel after you eat something? Energized or sluggish? That awareness alone can change everything. Now let's talk about something most people ignore. Rest, not just sleep, although that matters too, but rest. The kind where you step away from the noise, turn off the TV, put down the phone, and just let your body and mind be still. One beautiful practice, a soft close to your day. Try this tonight 1 hour before bed. Dim the lights, turn off all screens, put on calming music or silence. Breathe slowly. Let your body know it's safe to unwind, safe to slow down. This habit alone can improve your sleep, reduce stress, and increase clarity the next morning. And here's one more. It's tiny but mighty. Prepare tomorrow. Tonight, lay out your clothes. Place your journal or glass of water by your bedside. Decide on one thing you'll enjoy tomorrow. That simple act tells your brain, there's more to come. It gives you something to look forward to. And that hope, even in the smallest way, can be healing. Let's pause here for a moment. What's one habit from today's section that you want to try first? Let me know in the comments. Your answer might inspire someone else to begin. And if you know someone in your life who's struggling to build a routine, a parent, a partner, even yourself, share this video with them. Because when we take care of the daily, we protect the decades. Now, if these habits are the foundation, then what are we building on top? That's what we'll explore next. Because it's not just about feeling better in the moment, it's about designing the future you want. Your next years, your peace, your plan. It's time to lift your eyes and look ahead, not with fear but with clarity. So as we move forward, I want you to ask yourself, what am I still here for? What do I want my days and my legacy to say about me? Let's answer that together. Next, take a quiet moment with me now. Sit back, breathe gently, and ask yourself this: what will I leave behind? Not just money, not things, but the feeling, the memory, the impact. It's not a question meant to scare you. It's one meant to awaken something deep, because whether you realize it or not, you are already leaving a legacy. Every word you speak, every kindness you show, every habit you choose, it all ripples forward. And now, in this chapter of life, you get to decide what that legacy feels like. Not just for others, but for you. Because your next years aren't just about getting through, they're about shaping something. Something meaningful, something peaceful, something you can look back on with a full heart. Let's start small, as we always do. What matters to you right now, not what used to matter, not what others expect, but you. What feels like truth in your chest. Maybe it's more time with family. Maybe it's less clutter in your home and in your mind. Maybe it's reconnecting with old dreams, or letting go of old hurts. Here's something powerful you can try tonight. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 things you want your next few years to include. Not achievements, not checklists, but feelings. For example, I want to feel calm in my home. I want to spend more time laughing with people I love. I want to walk into each day without fear. When you know what you want to feel, your decisions become clearer. And that leads us to something so few people take the time to do. Prioritize. You've earned the right to say no, to let go of what no longer fits, to clear out not just drawers and closets, but emotional weight. If a routine drains you, shift it. If a person always leaves you feeling heavy, step back with love. If a habit brings no joy, no health, no peace, release it. Simplifying is not giving up, it's coming home. And once you've made space, emotionally, mentally, even physically, you can begin to think about something we often avoid: the future. I know that word can bring up fear, but it can also bring peace. Because here's the secret: planning is not about control, it's about comfort. Make a simple list of your wishes. Who you'd want to call in an emergency, what kind of care you'd want, how you'd like your home to feel. You don't have to make it all happen today. Just begin the process. Write a letter to your family with your thoughts. Not just about what to do when, but about who you are, what you believe, what you want them to remember. That letter might become the most meaningful thing you ever leave behind. And while we're here, can we talk about forgiveness? Because if there's something you're still carrying, a grudge, a regret, a wound that never got closure, this might be the time to put it down. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. Your peace is too precious to keep locked up in old pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the burden. Even just saying out loud, "I'm ready to let this go," can begin the healing. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. Even wanting to forgive is a powerful first step. You might want to go back and listen to that again. These are the things that shape the rest of your life, more than any diet or routine ever could. Now let's talk about one last piece of legacy that's often forgotten: your joy. Yes, joy. Not just what you did in the past, but what still lights you up today. What's one thing that brings a spark to your eyes, even now? Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's telling stories. Maybe it's music, gardening, or even just watching the clouds. That spark matters. It's not a distraction from your purpose. It is your purpose. Because the most powerful legacy isn't just what you give to others. It's what you allow yourself to feel, to live, to experience. And when others see you, truly see you still living with joy, still choosing peace, that becomes the memory. So here's a reflection. What's one small joy you'll make time for this week? Write it in the comments. Someone might read it and think, maybe I can do that too. And if you found this helpful, or hopeful, or even just comforting, share it. You never know who's waiting for a message like this in the quiet of their evening. Now we've planned, we've reflected, we've softened and strengthened. But there's one final place we must go, and it's the most important of all, because planning is important. But the real magic, it's in the present. It's in today. It's in this moment. Let's finish there, together. Right now, in this very moment, you're breathing. Your heart is still beating. You're here, and that means something. You didn't find this video by accident. Maybe you were scrolling late at night, looking for answers. Or maybe you didn't even realize how much you needed to hear this. But here you are, and I want to say this with all the warmth in my heart. You're not done, you're not invisible, and you are not too late, because the most powerful chapter of your life might still be the one you're living now. Yes, you've faced hard things. Yes, the world has changed. Yes, some days feel heavier than others. But here's the truth, no one says enough. Every single day you wake up is a new chance. A chance to do something kind, to feel something real, to forgive, to laugh, to notice the way sunlight hits the floor. This not yesterday, not someday, is the moment that counts. So let's make this moment matter. Start by slowing down. Take a breath with me right now. In through the nose. Hold out through the mouth. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the strength of your own presence. You made it here. That's not small. That's not luck. That's life still flowing through you. Asking you not to give up but to wake up. So let's ask the simplest question of all. What's one thing you can do today to take care of you? Not 5 things. Not a perfect plan. Just one thing. Maybe it's drinking that glass of water. Maybe it's stepping outside for 10 quiet minutes. Maybe it's calling someone and saying, I miss you. Or maybe it's simply letting yourself rest without guilt. These are not small actions. These are acts of devotion. Acts of presence. Because presence is where peace lives. And when you're present truly here, something shifts. The regrets of yesterday, they loosen their grip. The worries about tomorrow, they shrink in size. And suddenly, all that's left is what you can do right here, right now. If you're over 60 and wondering if you still have purpose, hear me clearly. Purpose isn't a project. It's presence. It's choosing to love your life again, even in its quietest moments. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you unforgettable. And if this message brought you peace, I ask you, hold it close. Replay this video when the nights feel long. Share it with someone who might be sitting alone, wondering if they still matter, because they do, and so do you. Let's not leave this moment without a promise. Not to me, but to yourself. What's one small thing you will do today to honor your body, your mind, your heart, or your spirit? Tell me in the comments. Let this be more than a video. Let it be a beginning. You've walked with me through 6 parts, and if you're still here, it means you're ready. Not for a new life, but for a new level of attention to the one you already have. So go ahead. Drink the water. Take the walk. Sing the song. Laugh out loud. Cry if you need to. Write the letter. Forgive yourself, because you deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve to feel alive, not just to exist. And every moment you choose that, you're building something. You're healing something. You're leaving something behind that others will remember, not just in stories, but in how they choose to live too. If this series gave you comfort, if it reminded you of your strength, please like it. Subscribe to this channel, not just for more content, but because this is a space that sees you. And most of all, share this. Text it to your daughter, email it to your friend, post it in your group chat, because someone out there needs it, more than you know. Let this message echo beyond the screen. Let it become the whisper that carries someone else through their long night, because now you know, you're not alone, and you're not done. We'll see you again soon. Until then, take care of yourself like someone who matters, because you do.